So in that 1.13 update, they decided to buff the Scar, which in my opinion, I thought was already a good weapon. I just thought it was a little bit of a higher skill weapon, meaning that you actually needed to be skillful to use it. And if you were not at that higher skill level, odds are you would be trash with that weapon, which is typically the case with weapons that are high damage and high recoil. And in my opinion, even though they've made it significantly easier to use, I still think you're going to primarily see the M4, the RAM, the MP5, just because those are the top tier weapons currently within the game. But regardless of all that, the best class setup we're going to be taking a look at today for the Scar is the Monolithic Suppressor, the Forged Tack 20-inch barrel, the GI Mini Reflex, that F-Tac collapsible stock, and the 30-round mag. And obviously you can make adjustments to make the class setup fit you. If you want to go ahead and drop that optic, you can equip an underbarrel, which will allow you to have a little bit less recoil, or you can equip that stipple grip attachment, which will give you a little bit faster aim down sight time. So obviously I've already given you the best class setup, and this is typically where I'm going to jump into a gameplay where I actually explain how to use it and how to play specific maps or modes. So if you're interested in learning how to improve as a player, I would definitely stick around for that. But if you're going to go ahead and dip after getting the class setup, please do me a favor hitting that like button. If you're brand new to the channel or just haven't yet subscribed, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on to be able to find your way back for more Modern Warfare content. So one of the unfortunate parts with the change to matchmaking is you never know if you're going up against a party unless everyone on the enemy team is sharing a clan tag. And I'd have to guess that at least 2, maybe even 3 people on the enemy team are in a party, which kind of makes things a little bit trickier because they can actually give call outs, they can kind of give away your positioning, and they can actually work as a united team. When you are playing solo, you kind of got to play for yourself. You can still play for the objective. You still got to focus on map control. You got to go ahead and play smart, get your streaks together, and hopefully your team will push up with you. Unfortunately, in this case, you're going to look at 5 teammates that pretty much sit back. Maybe one of them will creep up with me every now and again to try and get that map control. For the most part, they're sitting back, probably doing their camo challenges. Maybe this is the first time they play Dom. Or the other thing they end up doing is they go to the other side and they grab the opposite flag to actually flip the spawns instead of actually just holding that map control. For whatever reason, when it comes to Modern Warfare, it seems to be the worst it's ever been in any other Call of Duty I've ever played, where there is almost always one guy on your team that has the most captures, least kills, and most deaths, and you still end up losing the match. A lot of times people think that having the most captures in a match is actually a good thing, while generally it is actually one of the worst possible things you can do in a match. And for whatever reason, people just don't understand the concept that if you have map control, you never end up having to flip the spawns. You can maintain that map control, you should be able to hold the objectives and not really have to worry about spawn flips or anything like that, which will allow you to hold your position, roam a certain area, kind of have more predictable enemy spawns so you got an idea exactly where they're coming from. Whereas if you continue to flip the spawns, people will always be in kind of random spots and you're left guessing where people are coming from. So right here, I'm kind of patrolling back. You can see that somebody on my team is going ahead. They're all kind of pushing towards A. No one's pushing towards B. Obviously, I'm playing for a streak. I was able to get a full set of streaks here. And I know someone's in here. I kind of just got to play it the right way. Obviously, taking advantage of the strengths of this weapon, which is the high damage. So I just got to make sure I'm aiming down sight and I can land those shots. My streak is going in. You see my teammate was able to jump on the objective. I'm just peeking the window, see what's going on. You can see on the compass, someone is on this right side. So I play a little bit passive. The guy jumps out. I'm able to melt him just because I kind of hear him coming around the corner. I was ready for him. He did have the shot lined up. It's just my time to kill is a little bit faster if I can manage to land my shots. So you can see my team is over at the A flag while we already have C, and then we're starting to triple cap, which I guess could be a good thing in this particular case. Since 99% chance the enemy team is going to spawn over by A, they should be jumping on that objective, which should give us a little bit of time to jump on B. I come up, take this guy out. If you're looking at the mini map, you're going to really only see that one teammate kind of pushes to this general area. For the most part, people are sitting back. I'm kind of trying to do it all on my own, jumping out, getting the kills. I'm on a 14 streak to start this out, and then I got to go ahead and sit on the objective because no one's in this room. They're all sitting back. No one's pushed up. They don't see that we're in this area. I'm not trying to give away my position, but we have to capture an objective, and it's basically left to me. So even though there's a guy in here, he's not really looking at the right area. He's kind of looking at our spawn where we already have 3 or 4 teammates posted up. Odds are the enemy's not coming from that area. They're going to be coming from directly in front of us. Get a little bit overwhelmed. You can see that I have teammates back here. I decide to call in my chopper gun. I already have 19 kills. Next guy on my team had like 6 or 7 or something like that. Not a lot. And I'm trying to take these people out, hoping that my teammates will push. I kind of clearing them out. There's only 2, maybe 3 in there right there. You can see but none of my teammates are moving. Nowhere's near the objective. They are trying to wrap around. You can see that guy on the left trying to go up and try and grab A for whatever reason. Cleared that guy out. We do have one teammate trying to push in, and this is the perfect time for them to take B, but literally no one's pushing for it except for maybe one guy. And why this is the perfect time is because if they end up spawning out, they'll go ahead and spawn, and then I'm able to shoot them before they can get in. So a lot of this has to be done with trades, but literally no one's pushing for the objective. They're playing domination, and they actually do not care about map control, don't care about anything. Guy goes to go grab A, and then basically we have split spawns now because we have A and C. You'll see we're going to end up losing one rather quickly just because that's how it typically works. If you're holding the A flag and the C flag, there's no way you could be spawning at both locations. You're going to get a little bit overwhelmed, and as you can see, we're already losing A. And that's a common theme when you play domination in this game. People just do not have a concept of how to play it, like I mentioned earlier. So it's just one of those things. There's a lot of times I'll make these videos and people just do not realize that they're even playing domination wrong in the first place. Obviously, you could be a kill whore or whatever the case is, but these guys aren't even doing that. They're not camping for streaks or anything because they're not contributing in any meaningful way. Guess what? We go ahead and grab A, even though there's a bunch of us at C. For whatever reason, there's a guy looping around, getting all the captures, no kills, bunch of deaths. We're going to start losing A again now that we're on C. We just need to leave A alone. I go ahead and kind of clear it out, slow that progress a little bit, hoping my teammates will push up because most of the enemies are going to be spawning over at A. Now that it says they're losing it, I go and pre-aim. I get a little overwhelmed because I didn't expect that guy to be running out. I was going to go ahead and kill the guy on the objective again. This guy on the right, as I run by, he continues to sit there. There's another guy up top on the left. You can see where my teammates are. I'm basically playing solo. I'm kind of trying to play this the right way. There is one guy, like I said, he's starting to push up that stairwell. Looks like the little cruise missile's coming in. I try to get indoors. Looks like it comes down, ends up missing. It was aiming for me. It just didn't end up working out. Right here, there is a flash, so I kind of got to sit through that. I wait out, knowing that there's someone on that right side. Too late. I can't check the top. It was a little bit of bad timing. I don't know what the rest of my team is doing. They are up top, but they're literally not moving. They're not shooting anybody. They're camping on head glitches in the back. And that ends up coming back to the biggest issue with this game is they've kind of enabled people to play this particular playstyle because it's pretty effective. If you sit back camp, you're going to probably have a high KD. Right there, that guy's on a head glitch mounted. Probably shouldn't ego challenge that, especially with the scar. Even though its recoil did get buffed slightly, so it has less recoil in this case. And the only real time you should ego challenge that is if you land the first shot. So if I would have jumped up, connected the first bullet, I should have just continued forward. Since I didn't connect with those first shots, I should have kind of backed down, not worried about it. I know the guy's there, pop out, pre-aim, snap on, take him out. And that was more of an ego challenge where I knew where the guy was. I just kind of got to snap onto the target and pre-aim that particular area. So you can see I've made it into the B flag and my team is playing as aggressive as ever. You can see that guy all the way in the outskirts trying to go ahead and camp in that corner instead of actually playing objective. He just got killed and I'm debating, okay, how do I need to take this? Because I'm basically playing solo. One guy does show up and that's pretty much all I had for the entire match that I've kind of gone back to. And at this point in the match, we are statistically guaranteed to lose unless we triple cap. Even if we hold this 2 cap for the remainder of the match, it's not enough time for us to win. The enemy team needs 35 points. We need about 90. And if that wasn't clear, what I mean by that is if the match ended with us holding B and C the entire remainder of the match, we'd end up losing 200 to about 170. So in some cases, you might think this video is about this miraculous comeback that I'm going to pull off. I'm going to go ahead and capture A. I'm going to hold on to B. Somehow I'm going to be in 3 places at once so I can actually be at C as well. You can see that my teammates are literally content to lose the match. They have no desire to push forward. 2 people are camped behind me to the right. One guy's camping around the left, trying to work his way around to go and get A because that's what he thinks is going to work. But that's not the case. Obviously, in this particular scenario, we're going to lose based off the behavior of my team from beginning to end. I could have easily left the match, but I like to include these types of gameplays in my breakdown because this is literally what you deal with. Obviously, I can include only my highlights to make myself look all flashy and good or whatever the case is, but then you probably wouldn't improve as a player. So in this particular scenario, obviously, you kind of got to just go with the flow, accept that you're going to take losses in this game just because people don't know how to play the game. There's a lot of new people playing this game. I believe the player base is as high as they say it is because we got tons of new people that haven't played COD in years, or this is their first ever Call of Duty. You got to expect that people are going to make a ton of mistakes. they're not going to know how to play the game. They have no clue what is going on. And obviously when it comes to the SCAR, you saw it perform very well. It didn't have a ton of limitations. I could have probably had a little bit faster aim down sight in certain scenarios. For the most part, the only time I'm losing gunfights is when I'm outnumbered or I'm getting shot from an angle I couldn't quite see, which again goes back to your teammates. Obviously, if your teammates are getting a few kills here and there, they're calling in UAVs, they're scattered around the map. That gives you a better indication on where the enemies are coming from. Hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, let me know by hitting the like button. If you're brand new to the channel, haven't yet subscribed, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on. We appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.